Do you want to be on camera? Chansey. Hi. Hi. No, you don't care? No, no. You're not only going to be able to go so far. You're not going to be able to go so far. How are you showing off our other secrets? You're showing off our secret vehicle. Huh? Huh? You're not allowed to tell them. You're telling them. And you don't care. I know. Hi. Right? We're supposed to go camping. Everybody wants to drive by with their cars right now. Like everyone.
Yep.
Like, bye. There we go. Alright, so we're just going to run through a couple of mods, the top 5 mods that I did to my 4Runner to begin with, so that way you can kind of get an idea of where you're wanting to look for and what maybe you should do instead that I regret I didn't do to begin with. So we'll start off with the tires and suspension that I did first. Alright, so what I started with first was that I upgraded the tires from stock 265 to 285 7017s. We kept the stock rims. I did pick up a pair of TRD wheels instead of the stock chrome wheels that came on my SR5. So we did that. We went ahead and went with the bigger tires. And then for the suspension, we ended up doing a 2.5-inch lift. So in the back, I only needed a spacer, and then it's a little hard to see since it's so dark right now. But we ended up doing the spacers in the back at first, and then we did the Bilsteins up front, which raised it to be a 2.5-inch lift in there too. You can't see it very well, but we did Bilstein's 1500s. So the first thing that I did was the tires and the suspension to lift it to fit the bigger tires. So after doing the 2.5-inch lift up front and then the spacer in the back to make everything level at 2.5 inches, we ended up having to switch that out as is because we added more weight in the back, which I'll go over later. So my regret with that would be that we didn't go ahead and do springs in the back instead of keeping the stock springs with a spacer, because we knew we were going to add more weight in the back. So we had to go back and redo everything. So the way that it sits right now is it's actually 3 inches in the back because of the springs that we put. So we put old man springs on the back, so that raised the rear end the 3 inches, and now the front is at a 2.5. So if I wanted it to get leveled, I need to raise the front and put a spacer on there, so that way I'm a 3-inch all the way across and leveled now. And the next thing that we did was we added sliders on here. We went ahead and opted for Westcott Designs. He's actually local here in the Phoenix area, and I actually know him from purchasing my 4Runner from him. So we went ahead and went with his rock sliders, which they're really amazing. This is going to be the 0 degree one that lays flat, and we also decided to go ahead and get the grates on the inside here. So that way, because family gets in it, our dog gets in it, that way nobody really falls through, but it also gives you a nice bump if something does come across. And then the fact that it pokes out at the back there as well too. You can get a 20 degree one that comes up more from him as well too. So those are something that we invested in because this is a lot easier now as well too to reach our rooftop tent when we need to tuck in the sides, because we are both short. We are both 5 foot nothing, it seems like. So we made sure that we got these as the next addition to our mods that we did for our 4Runner. All right, so our next big mod that we did that we absolutely love, and a lot of people don't like them. A lot of people do like them, but there's a lot of controversial statements around this. But we have a Gobi rack, and we have the stealth system, and it also has 3 lights on there, so it can't be a single bar, it has to be 3 separate lights. So we did this not in intention of the actual tent that we got. It was just for mostly kayaking, being able to transport a lot of stuff, because it gives great underneath so you can actually walk on it. It's really hard to see with a rooftop tent, but we do have crossbars on there as well too that's holding the tent right now. But it's a nice platform that it does give you the option to mount things like this as well too. So we do have that on there. We've absolutely loved it for camping before. When we did ground tent camping, we just threw our tent up there, we strapped it down. Same thing with the kayaks and paddle boards that we had as well too. And then you also do get the ladder with it as well. So that's what's really nice about this as well too. So the last mod that we did, other than the tent, which I'm not including in the 5 that I would recommend, is that we went ahead and did the Goose Gear drawers for our 4Runner. Is an expensive system. So what happens, factory carpeting and the tie downs, you'll put this plate down and then you attach the drawers to this. So because we added these drawers in here, we ended up having to then switch out the springs that messed up doing all of it in one fatal swoop. So if anything, I'd recommend doing the heavier load springs or even medium load springs compared to the stock springs if you're going to put something like this back there, just because it is so heavy. It added about 60 pounds. So that's the 5 top mods I would say you would want to do your runner if you're looking to do some minor adjustments. Is going to be the tires, the suspension, add sliders on there, especially if you're short, just saying. And then also the full-size rack, because we were able to carry a lot of stuff up there, which was great. Kayaks, paddle boards, our tent, our gear as in like our wolf packs as well too. And then the 5th one would definitely be the Goose Gear, because it made it a lot easier to be able to go ahead and just pack everything up for camping, throw in our fridge, our clothes, and then one wolf pack, so that way we could get Chansey up in the tent. But other than that, those are definitely the 5 top mods that I would recommend. And then in the next video that you can see up here on your right hand side is going to be everything that we put into our Goose Gear shelves as well. Thanks for watching, guys, and have a great day.